Good afternoon. Happy Stampers. This is Judy Anderson from judystamps.com, and I'd like to welcome all of our live viewing friends and those watching on replay. I'd like to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule today. As you're coming on, say hi and let me know where you're coming from. And don't forget to share this video with your friends. I am sure that they would like to learn this fun trick using the flip flaps and creating a shaker card that is quick and easy. So today we're going to be using the Spooky Sweet 12 by 12 Specialty Designer Series paper, some Memento ink, some loose shaker elements, the 3 by 4 flip flaps, and the Unbounded Love stamp set for our sentiment. We're also going to be using our Stampin' Dimensionals today instead of the uh, foam strips. So last week I brought you a quick birthday card using the foam strips and the clear, yeah, I can't think of the name of it now. Oh my gosh. Um, the acetate sheets. So today we're going to be using the flip flaps for our shaker. Let's take a look at our designer series paper first. This is a designer series paper that you will find coming up in our online exclusives. Our card base is pumpkin pie, and these are the pieces I'm going to be using. Let's set that to the side. So in the specialty paper, you get 2 sheets of these die cuts. And so you don't need any stamps for this project except for a sentiment stamp, unless you want to make a handmade note. You're getting 2 sheets of these, and you're going to see a couple of mine come out because I didn't separate my sheet before I started punching them out. Then the designer series paper has this fun sheet that you can cut apart, use it on scrapbook pages. We're going to be using this on card. We could use this for a scrapbook page and put pictures on this also. So I have cut, when you cut these, this will measure 5¼ by 4 inches, perfect for a card front. And then we have these double-sided, well, this has also got this side on the back. And then we've got this fun candy paper with this black and orange background. We have, I should have put these all in the right direction. This fun designer series paper, which you could cut into strips. You could cut the windows out if you want and pop them up. So many different options. And this is just a subtle background that has some pumpkin pie design on it. And then we've got some tags here. And then the background here. And then this one that's got all kinds of trick-or-treaters that you could cut out, fussy cut them out and put them on cards or a scrapbook page. Or I think this would make a cute background for a scrapbook page. And then a fun multi-pattern designer series paper on the back. It's kind of antique-ish. So like I said, I went ahead and cut this out. We're going to be doing some more cutting on this. I cut this piece of designer series paper. We're going to use this rhino here, or it might even be a hippo. I'm thinking it's a hippo. This doesn't have any tusks. So when I saw these die cuts, I thought, oh my gosh, this reminds me so much of Hunter, my grandson. He loves rhinos. And I've got a little bat here that we're going to be using, and then our card base. So we're going to start out with our designer series paper, and we're going to create the spot for our shaker. So I'm removing my Take Your Pick tool and using one of the accessories, which is a knife. It's an X-Acto type knife here, a razor blade. And we're going to be using a ruler and cut out a portion of this. So let me get my ruler out because I forgot to. And then I'm just going to use a piece of um, cardboard underneath here. You could use a self-healing mat if you wanted. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut out this square here, this rectangle that is the doorway. So when I look at this, I see like a fence line here. So our sidewalk ends here, and then it's kind of like a porch. And you can see a little point right here, which is the bottom of the door. So we're going to take a ruler and put it across that point that is the bottom of the doorway. So that's right there. So we're just going to draw or cut a straight line right across there. So I am cutting out the doorway. I'm going to go over it twice to make sure I've got it cut. I love that we have these accessories for our take your pick tool. I don't have to be looking for an X-Acto knife anymore or my razor knife. It just seems like it always disappears. Okay, and then I'm going to go up the doorway on this side. Just line my ruler up to all these points and cut them out. And once again, I'm going to go along each cut line twice to make sure I have it cut good. Go all the way up there. Then I am going to turn this. I'm going to cut along the top here. Put my tip where I want to start. And then just go across. You could use your snips also for this. We're not going to use this inside piece. Let me see if I got it all cut. Nope, I didn't cut along here yet. I thought I may have cut because there's a little line there, but that's in the paper. I'm going to cut down here, right to the top of that fence line. I'm going to cut down here, down to where we started. And then I've got this little spot right here to cut. Okay, so we're going to cut that right there. And hopefully it's going to pop right out. Oops, I'm going to have to take my snips and snip it just a little bit at the top there. So you just take your snips and connect those cut lines. Right there, and then right here. So I know I heard from several of you that you enjoyed the shaker card last week, and I promised you to show you an easier way to do it. So that's going to be our shaker portion. So now I'm going to grab my flip-flop. Now my flip-flops, these are 3x4. I don't need it quite that big. I could use a 3x3, except I don't have one. So I could either cut it so it goes this way, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to place it to the side as far as I want to go, and I want to go about a 1/2 inch. And then I want to measure a 1/2 inch over here. So what I'm going to do for that side is I'm going to take my stylus and I'm going to mark it. Well, I don't have my stylus, so I'm going to mark it with this here. So I'm going to go over a 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to put a little cut there. So now I'm going to take my paper cutter and I'm going to cut my paper flap down. And I'm just going to go to where I put that little dot. It's really hard to see. And we're going to put that in and cut it off there. Okay, so the one reason I want a 1/2 inch is so that we go beyond that opening. And now next, I'm going to cut off this adhesive strip. Now you could leave this on as long as the flip flap and not cut it, but I like creating smaller windows a lot of times. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to take this piece of designer series paper that I cut, and I'm going to have to cut it down a little bit. So it's going to fit in there. So I need to cut that down here. So once again, I'm going to take my paper trimmer and just put that in and cut the paper, not the sheet. Okay, so we trim that. So that's going to be our shaker window. So next, I'm going to fill my shaker window. I'm just going to open this up. I'm going to take our loose shimmer elements and we're going to fill it up as much as you want or as little as you want. I take, a couple fingerfuls. I like my shaker cards to be a little bit fuller. Now, I like these shaker elements because there's these beads in here, which will create a little bit of a space in there for these to be able to shake around. Let's move these out of the way. I'm going to get those off my table here. So once again, these have little beads. I recommend when you use your flip flaps to do this, make sure you include beads because it'll keep that those two pieces separated of the window. Now we're going to take our strip, and this is used normally to put them into your scrapbook pages to add pictures. I want to take off this white strip right here. I may have cut my window a little bit too narrow, but we'll see. Should be fine. So now I can always trim this. This has adhesive on it. So what we want to do is we want to line this up so it's halfway. Okay, so we're just going to go halfway there. Press it down, not on the adhesive, and then we're going to press this over. And we're going to give that a good squeeze, a good score. You can use your bone folder for that. Now I am going to trim that flap just a little bit because I made my window just a little bit too narrow. I should have gone a little bit wider. Okay, so that is creating our shaker element. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to line the outside of this with dimensionals. So I want to see how far this is. I'm going to place this on here where I want it. And that's going to be our shaker element. So I've got that. So now I'm going to take some of those edges of our dimensionals and I'm going to put them around where our window is. Oh, we're taking this, well, I'm going to tear it here because I don't think, well, I'm going to take it all. Okay, so I'm going to clip some of these ends now. So I want to go from the top to the bottom, and that's going to seem like it's going to be just about perfect. I have to make it a little bit narrower. So we're just going to clip this here. And this is like the perfect size. So I'm going to line this up right here. Okay, now I'm going to take the other side and I'm going to trim this off shorter. Here, we're going to use those cutoff pieces, so don't fret. And we're going to line this up on the other side of the window, just like this. So I want that to stand out. Okay, then these portions are going to go around the edge of our card because we want the entire card to stand up. So we'll just take some pieces here and put them around. Grab my larger dimensionals now and line some of these up so our card front or our mat will stay up when we put this all together. You're going to find that this goes together really quick. Okay, so, oops, we've got that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our card base and we're going to fold our card base on the score line and take our bone folder, go ahead and burnish that line. Line this up on the card front. Okay, Now we need to line this up, and we're actually going to glue this to the card. And I want it to come up a little bit higher, so I'm just going to hold it here so I know about where it's at. So as you can see, it's a little bit higher than it is lower. And I'm hoping I did those dimensionals okay. Now I'm going to take my glue because I don't want this to come off. And I am going to mark with a pen here where it's going to be placed. And I want to glue in between here really good. This is what's going to hold that shaker element to the card. Just like this. And as you can see, we don't have to worry about anything coming out because we have that window enclosed. And it's going to shake, shake, shake. And we don't want it plastered along the bottom because we want that nice and loose. And that's why I put the dimensionals on. I got enough room. So we are going to remove all the tacking or the protective layer here. So like I was saying, Hunter loves rhinos. My brother came in, years ago when my mother had passed. Happy birthday, heavenly birthday, Mom. Her birthday was yesterday. And we took him to the zoo, and he loved the rhinos. So while we were there, my brother got him this Rattle toy. And what you did is you spun it in your hand like this, and it had a ball, and it hit each side, and it would make this noise. He played with that thing continually. In fact, we were hoping that he would stop. Because it became annoying after a while. I hate to admit that, but it did. So now we're going to take this. We've got all our adhesive, our protective adhesive off of that. And we're going to place this down. Okay. Make sure it's good and down. So as you can see, there's our shaker element. Now before we go any further, I'm going to take my Wink of Stella and I'm going to add some glitter to some of this. So we're going to put some Wink of Stella on the windows to add a little bit of sparkle to those. Wouldn't this be a fun house to go to with all that fun stuff inside? It looks like it's got candy wallpaper on the inside. Do up here too. And let's do by these spiders. Now the Wink of Stella adds that glitter to your paper without the mess. It adds that glittery shine, which catches the light. I'm going to let that dry a minute. I can always add more. To add more, what you want to do is you just want to squeeze until you see the liquid come into that barrel part there, and then it'll just squeeze, come right out onto that brush. Just going to add some more here. Okay, I think that's enough shimmer and shine. Now we've got this cute hippo. We're going to put him out here. He's the trick-or-treater. I'm going to cover up part of our stuff. Now you could glue him directly on here, but I want to add dimension. I know that I'm going to be giving this card directly to Hunter. I'm not going to be mailing it. Give it to him with his Halloween treat this year. Let me see. His little bum's going to go over the window a little bit. So we want to make sure this guy's popped up too. I should put my other tip on here, but this will work great also. Let me know, do you guys have lots of trick-or-treaters that come by your house? Last year we had quite a few. Not as many as I expected. It depends on the weather. And I can tell you if the weather is going to be like it's been around here the last couple days, we won't get many trick-or-treaters. Okay, we're going to put him right here. He's on the sidewalk, right down there. And then we have our bat. Now for our bat, we're going to use a mini dimensional. Hey, Chris, how are you? Oh, you're going to have to watch the rest of the live later, the replay. It'll come right up. Are you watching on your TV or on your phone today? Chris has discovered that she can watch me on YouTube also because I come live on YouTube. Okay, we want this bat to show. Let's put him up here. Okay, we're going to add a little bit of Wink Stella to him too, because we want him to sparkle. And I feel that this is just enough sparkle for those boy cards without being glittery. Okay, and I forgot to stamp my sentiment. I wanted to stamp the hello, and I didn't. And so we're going to have to grab a piece, a basic white. You know, I've got all those 1/2-inch strips that I cut off when I cut my mats. So we'll just do that, and we're going to grab our Memento ink, and this will fit just on here. Now you could put Happy Halloween, Trick or Treat on here, or whoops, I don't like the way that came out. I just re-inked this pad, so it's quite juicy. I was going to stamp it right in the lower right-hand corner, but this will work out just as good. So I'm putting the hello on the front, and let's give it a little pizzazz. We'll go ahead and make that banner end to it. So I'm cutting up the middle and then from each corner. There. And let's do this here. And the same thing. We'll just cut right up the middle. And then from each corner up to the middle. So too many trick-or-treaters last year. Over 100. Oh my gosh, 100. Yeah, my son 1 year had over 300 trick-or-treaters. The year before last, we didn't have very many that year, but he had 300, so he expected 300 last year, and he didn't get as many. Okay, I'm just going to put this just a little bit narrower. I'm watching from the phone today. Okay, this I'm just going to put one-dimensional right in the middle. Okay, and well, we can put this up here if we wanted. And that's what I'm going to do. Actually, that was a happy opportunity. So there's our quick shaker card. We hope you guys enjoy learning how to do that. I will put a mat on the inside and find another element. Well, let's do that now. Let me see. I don't need it. Doesn't need to be 4 inches. I'll just do I don't know how wide this is, but we're going to do it 4 inches long. And look, I have ink on my finger. Okay, we'll reverse that around. We'll go ahead and take our liquid glue and adhere this to the inside. And I'm going to offset it because I'm going to put a die cut over on this side. So let's grab the die cut. And let's see what we'll put on them in the inside. Let's put this bottle up here. Potion bottle. Of course, Hunter would probably like this spider here. I'll put this on the inside. A little bit of adhesive, put it right here. Bringing that fun to the inside of the card, and can't forget our Wink Stella, that purple potion. Squeeze a little bit more. Oh, I got bubbles. And let that dry. And there's the inside of our card. I will probably put Happy Halloween on the inside, but there's our shaker card. So I hope you guys enjoy learning how to do it with our flip flaps. And we carry flip flaps in 3x3, 4x4, 4x6, and 3x4 right now. And like I showed you, cut them up. You can make them any size and make a little window. You don't need a big window. I could have also cut up to here. Oops, sorry, my alarm's going off. And I could make a couple windows in here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you next week with another fun card. Until we meet again, everybody, happy stamping!